Do you find that you can hit a dead straight drive down the middle of the fairway?
Oh, he's nutted it.
And the next can be completely wide in the trees, sliced to the right. Oh, well, the key to consistency is getting the golf club on plane or close to plane with a square face. Now, there's been a lot of recent lessons here at the Grand with us over the last couple of weeks, and there's been 3 common swing faults that have stood out to us that is stopping golfers from being consistent. And we're going to share with you today exactly what we did with these students that gave them instant results, and we know they're going to help you too.
Now look, if you are serious about improving your golf right now, then make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos.
Okay, let's get into the first fault then. So big one, and we're starting with the backswing. We're seeing that a lot of golfers, especially when you're struggling with a slice, are struggling with underturning the hips, but underturning the torso. So what Piers is going to demonstrate here, as we turn back, and this is actually a fairly decent turn because Piers turns a lot. This is what we're seeing. As you make a backswing and underturn with the hips and torso, the arms stay too much in front of the body. And when the arms are too much in front of the body, you can see now this vertical line is in front of Piers's toes. When he applies the force and the downswing now, that club's going to be more forward over the top of the plane, have to make a lot of compensations from there, generally hits down
Seen all the time.
and across from there, just because the backswing hasn't really made a full rotation. Let's go through what we want to see. And Piers is pretty flexible for his age. As we go to the top of the swing now, creating more of this turn of the torso and the hips, this is the key thing. It enables the arms to get a little bit deeper in the backswing. So a vertical line from the butt of the club now is more close to the heel line. Now, as Piers now starts the downswing, it's so much easier to actually allow the club to move closer to that swing plane now because he's created the space. As he's turned the top forward, Piers there, has turned his chest facing this way. Look at all the room that he's got there in order to get that in there. And this actually happened with one of your lessons yesterday, didn't it?
John literally yesterday was struggling, big slices, hitting low smothers as well. So he was definitely swinging over the top. And his golf swing was kind of like this. He was like arms only. He was really arms only, not getting a lot of rotation. The club was always going to be spending time above the plane. We drew the plane line in. It never really got behind the plane line. So all we did with him was, right, I need you to feel as though you get a much earlier turn from here and your arms are hardly doing anything. So feel as though your torso is doing a lot more turn early. And we get him doing this. This would be almost a pre-shot waggle for him. So before he'd hit a shot, he'd do one of those. And you can see, even in this early stage, look how much turn I'm getting here now. He was actually probably getting more turn by the time he got to waist high than he was getting in his old backswing in total. So from here, once you are wound up like this, it's a lot easier to complete your turn. And by the way, I saw him on the golf course last night. After the lesson, he was level par for the front nine. Never done that before in his life.
Amazing. So here's a couple of key things that you can do which will help you to create this turn. And this is something that Piers likes to feel as well. If you go to the top of the backswing, he's really feeling this left shoulder is working back more over the trail knee. So you can see here a lot of rotation of his chest and hips there, but this left shoulder now is sort of worked back over this knee.
It's a great feel. Look, you've seen us talk about matchup where we put the club across there and we get the club over the right foot. But obviously when you're hitting a golf shot, if your thought is to get this shoulder over that right side and over that right leg, you know that you're getting a full turn, you know whether you're getting there or not. And if you're going to use video feedback, it's really helpful, but that's just a really good prime for that. So even when I'm hitting this shot here, hit it a little bit softer because the guy is down the bottom, but I'm still going to do a full turn where I make sure, oops, a little bit of balance issues there, but you can see from there, I can actually making sure that I'm just getting that full turn, left shoulder over the right leg.
One other thing that's key when we do this turn, just to show you guys, what happens with the lower body here. So we talked about the shoulders, which is very important, but just notice what happens when we look at what's going on with the ground. Piers' trail foot is a little flat out. That's going to help him with his hip motion. But look at the knees here. This left knee works back, the right knee straightens. We've got daylight between the knees here. That's allowing Piers to free up the hips and just create this rotation.
We did a video on this just the other day. Make sure you allow for movement in the lower body. We need movement to get a good turn for sure.
Okay, the second fault that we've seen a lot is what happens from the top of the backswing into transition. And funny, a member here, Eric, came to me the other day and he asked me to look at his golf swing. He says, what am I doing? And this is exactly what we gave him that really helped him sync up the arms to the swing and get the club more on plane. But this is what we're seeing, an unwinding early of the upper body and the arms where the hands work way in front and again over the top in the downswing. Again, leads to a lot of this swiping across, inconsistencies. Sometimes you can time it and hit a good one. but generally you're going to hit a lot of inconsistent shots from
Just
here.
a quick one on this one. If you are doing that fault, you're better off doing the good backswing, because
Yes.
at least if you can get your arms deeper, at least you're giving yourself a little bit of a chance. If you do that with the arms, at least you got more chance of hitting a good shot.
Definitely. So here's what we did with Eric here. We went to the top. We said, right, I want you to feel you go to the top. And all I want you to do now is let the arms feel like they drop into this place here. Now, this is going to help the club go more on plane. So it's feeling that we are getting this turn. We're getting this drop of the arms, allowing the club to get more into this sort of shallower position. And then from here now we can start to move the body in a better way. Now, before you say, hang on a minute, Andy, we need to start the
People get ready with their
downswing.
thumbs, Andy.
Exactly, we need to start the downswing with the lower body. 100% we do. This was a feeling for Eric, and it's a great feeling that could work for you, but let's show you how we can integrate this feeling working with the lower body as well.
Yeah, for sure. So here what we want to do is we get to the top, and all we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit of a centering of the knees. If you think about where my knees start at setup, I rotate, there's a little bit of movement, and then from there, boom, centering. So that tells us that we're shifting somewhat back towards the target. And then from there, if we can combine that centering of the knees with the arms dropping, if that becomes kind of one motion, it's going to be a lot better for those arms sinking up to the body, and it's just going to allow that you're still getting some weight shift towards the target.
Putting the club in a great delivery position.
Exactly.
Let's go to the top of the swing. What we don't like to see is a lot of golfers are thinking, right, I need to turn the hips, I need to rotate a lot. So this is what's happening. We just focus on the rotation, and then the arms are just thrown way in front, and again, leading to this over the top fault.
If you are swinging over the top and slicing it, or even if you're slicing it and you've seen a picture of Rory McIlroy at impact with his both butt cheeks facing the camera, and you're thinking, I need to turn more like Rory McIlroy to get rid of my slice, it will make it 100 times worse, and you'll be a worse golfer. And just think of this. When we're talking about this move here, this is very much a rotation move. We're rotating the chest and the upper body too early. By doing the arms down, we're delaying the chest a little bit, but we're still getting the shift. So you actually need a little bit more of shifting to the target as opposed to rotating. So it just helps calm that rotation down and get the shift.
Let's put that together, see what it looks like. I do love the feeling, for me personally, of the centering of the knees and the dropping of the arms. It just sequences the downswing, makes it a lot easier.
It's amazing how you can time that and get that really good. And just prime it again a few times before you hit the shot. It's a really useful feel for sure.
Okay. So let's move into the third and final one, and this needs to happen as a result of the other ones, because what happens when we are doing the other ones, under rotating and then swinging over the top? Let's just show you actually. Let's go through what happens to the through swing. So when we go there,
we see this, down, stalling maybe and all this, but look at this action through the golf ball. Look at that.
Bit of the chicken wing here. We don't allow the club to actually get a great release because it's swiping across our body. Now, the one common thing that we keep on seeing is when golfers are having practice swings, we'll film them a lot, especially for a slicer, they're not thinking about the face. The face doesn't matter when you do a practice swing, and what we see a lot is then we'll freeze frame them in a slow-mo at impact. The face is miles open, but they don't know that because they haven't got the awareness, but that's only training more of a slice. Having a better release, so we've got the turn, then we've got the drop, now we have to release the club in a better way, and we like to think about this as that impact is a finish line. Talk through this here, because I think it's a great concept.
Let's probably stick there. Let's probably stick so maybe you can see this. We might put some graphics in here, we'll see, but that's our finish line. So now with this as our finish line, what we're looking for, what's happening when you're slicing is you're coming in chicken winging and your heel is winning the race. The heel is getting to that finish line before. So what we want to do is we want to get the sensation of what it's like to actually get the toe to win the race. And if we did that, if we got the toe to win the race and we just carried on past impact, we'd probably see this sort of shape here, where the fingers are underneath the glove hand and not on top like that. So that there is what we're after. And often we'll ask golfers to get to this position in order to win the race with a toe. So it's just a great way of exaggerating, which is really important, the squaring of the face.
So this is where something like, we've got a couple of great drills for this to work. Obviously that's just really simple, a great one as well. I'll get this out of the way.
That works all by itself. It's really, really good for awareness.
So impact bag, you can use something that, you can use a pillow, you can use your bag. All we want to do here is just create some awareness of where the club is when you're striking the golf ball. Where is the face at impact? So you can hit some shots where you just swing into the bag and see where it is and get some awareness. But if you're a slicer of the golf ball, Pierce has got it just past impact here. If you are a slicer, You want the toe to be in the bag first.
Yeah, we don't want that one. That's what you do if you're a slicer.
You want to make sure the toe is beating the heel to the golf ball. This is probably the drill. If you do this drill, we guarantee it's going to change your ball flight immediately.
If we've got one shot to do it, if we've got one shot to stop a slice, we will absolutely get them hitting the bag. And as a result of hitting that bag there, guess what? You can hit a big flat hook like that. But that's great if you're a slicer, because if you can hook it, then eventually everything else will figure itself out before.
The next shot, what we normally see is it's a dead straight shot after that next one. Okay, so here's another drill that we're going to give you on this. This just ties it all together, really. Just talk through this one.
So we're going feet together on this one, Andy. So I've got a quick story on this one. So Ian Connop, member Oxley Park, I used to teach him at Three Hammers Golf Complex, came for a lesson. We did this drill with him. So we got him to put his feet together, and all we were thinking about was taking the effort out of the body and putting it all into the arms. So allowing the arms, so we want a good turn. Yes, we want a big turn. But then from there, the arms are going to drop down on the way down. But on the way through, it's going to be a lot easier because our legs aren't getting in the way. It's going to be a lot easier to release the golf club. Now, the reason I brought Ian Connop into it, because he hit the ball amazing on the lesson doing that drill. 6 months later and 3 tournament wins and 4 shots off his index, he comes back for another lesson. He's still standing there with his feet together. I says, oh, nice to see you still doing the drill. He goes, no, I play golf this way. He'd been playing golf for months with his feet together. His mates laughing at him, but that soon changed round when he was winning those competitions for sure. But I love it. I think it's a great one. It's a great one for incorporating all 3, getting a good turn. Again, I'll go big turn, arms drop, and then release the club. Okay. And if I had to make a par down the last hole, I would take that drive all day.
You can't make a par down the last hole anyway.
220 little draw.
Guys, hope you enjoyed that. Some very simple things that are going to help you out there to improve your driving. We guarantee those will work for you. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you will love this one right here. And also, don't forget to check out meandmygolf.com or simply download the Me and My Golf app to see our best content. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.